In room after room, the same terrible vision. Bodies rotting on iron bed frames, hastily abandoned by the fleeing Khmer Rouge. The Vietnamese cameraman who filmed these scenes still vividly remembers what he saw that day in 1979.
Đầu thì nó bay nhảy đi mà giòi nó bu cái người nó xịt chương lên, cái này nó sưng phù cái còng. Mà đi tôi cầm máy quay mà tôi đi vòng cái giường đó, đạp giòi nó lụp bụp mà nó thối không chịu được. Phải tranh thủ quay thật nhanh để mà ra thôi.
Thai told me he didn't know at the time how iconic his footage would become. It was the first real proof of the cruelty of the Khmer Rouge regime. But Thai was even more shocked when he found a group of children living amid the decaying bodies. They were half-starved, barely alive, among just a handful of survivors of Tol Sleng. One of them was Nong Champal. Today, that little boy is a man, watching the footage of himself 30 years ago. He was separated from his mother after just one night in the prison and never saw her again. Champal told me about the day the Khmer Rouge fled Tol Sleng ahead of the advancing Vietnamese army. The 9-year-old boy remained hidden in this pile of clothes for several days, terrified by what he'd seen. Finally, the Vietnamese came, and he and the other children, who were by now weak with hunger, were rescued. Champal will never forget Tol Sleng, what the regime called S-21, but he's tried to move on. That slow process of healing helped immeasurably by the words he's been waiting for Doik to say for 30 years.
I am responsible for the crimes committed at S-21. I would like to express my regretfulness and my heartfelt sorrow and loss for all the crimes committed from 1975 to 1979.
For survivors like Champal, Doik's apology is profoundly significant. After enduring unspeakable torture at Tol Sleng, the prisoners were brought by the truckload to this killing field where they were lined up on the edge of these pits and their heads were smashed in. Often the stomachs of the corpses were then slit open. Small children were simply picked up and beaten to death against this tree. At the height of the slaughter, up to 300 people in a single day could be killed here. But what makes Tol Sleng so powerful is that unlike many other crimes against humanity, here the victims aren't faceless. Everyone was meticulously photographed before their interrogation and eventual execution. This is Chan Kin Srun, the wife of a senior Khmer Rouge official suspected of disloyalty. She's photographed with her baby. Her image has become emblematic of the horror of this regime. Her profile shows a tear rolling down her cheek. Perhaps she realized there was no escape.